What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to an all new episode of Talkin Ish, a podcast amongst friends. It is I, Anthony Sterling, aka your friendly neighborhood super Negro, aka Mr. Paranoid and Unemployed now. And joining me on this episode, as always, are these lovely ladies of podcasting, starting off with that beautiful ray of sunshine. Miss Araya Anderson is in the building. Everyone, for your love.
I made it through Milton.
Yes, you are a Milton
I
survivor.
am a
We are so
survivor.
happy.
I'm not gonna give up.
Okay. Beyonce
Oh,
is not coming to save your home. It's okay. You're good. But we're happy you're
despite
safe.
despite the hurricane, we have power, internet, and we were able to go grocery shopping and get some food yesterday. Trader Joe's was
Awesome.
open and operational, so
Awesome.
we have
Awesome.
food now.
That's a
We're
blessing
out of
because,
water, but we have food.
well, you'll survive. You'll be able to live.
Yeah.
You'll make it through.
No, I don't need money for water. I just don't want to leave my house again because half of the intersections don't have working lights and
Oh,
people
okay.
are not respecting the stop and go. So it's a little bit dangerous out there.
Damn. Well, it's Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's
there's that.
just there's that. You might as well just roll a dice and hope you get
Running
through it.
everywhere, just naked Florida men.
Well, I
They still
felt
trying to catch
really
them.
concerned about, first of all, the stray cat that I take care of. And he showed up the very next day waiting for his food. So he's fine. But I was also concerned for the unhoused population that lives around here.
Uh-huh.
They seem to have made it through. They're back out on the streets. So hopefully they got shelter somewhere and didn't get soaking wet and windblown.
Yeah. I mean, after seeing all that footage, man, I was like, I do not understand how anybody can go through that. Like I've been through a Cat 3
Mm-hmm.
years ago when I was a fair teenager. Andrew hit land after
Oh,
it
yeah.
decimated Florida, and I think it was
Mm-hmm.
South Florida. It
Mm-hmm.
had ran through Miami, the Miami area, Key West, and all of that, and it hooked right on in and decided to come visit Louisiana. Well, because gumbo and
Mm-hmm.
loose
Want to
women and
spread
loose
the
men
wealth.
wanted to spread the wealth, and it hit like a Mack truck. But for us, it was Rita. And if you don't know about Hurricane Rita, I totally understand. And that's because Katrina took all the attention.
Yes.
Louisiana had got like a 1-2 punch from Katrina in August, and then in September Rita came and did more damage. So it's if you haven't been through hurricanes, man, count your blessings because
They're not fun.
they are not fun at all. But Rhea, I am seriously happy that you and your kids are safe.
Yes.
Our friend of the podcast, Jazz, who also
Jazz.
lives in the Tampa area, so happy she's good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw the you know what? Before we get into that, I completely forgot. We cannot forget to finish our introductions because, ladies and gentlemen,
Just sitting
hey,
there.
look, she's just sitting there, dying of smoke, drinking her wine. But y'all got to give it up for the priestess of beige rage, the African American princess. Oh Lord, the slightly annoyed mixed chick. Give it up, y'all, for Miss Britt Williams is in the building. And I had to cut it short because Helene is not with us. She is on her assignment, and she wants us to only have two Mississippis.
She's a
But for you,
hater.
Britt, she wants to give you only one because you're just half.
That's
So
messed up. That's messed up.
yeah, it's very messed up. Helene has a counter for applause, and she said off the top, everybody get two except if you're a guest, and you can only get that maybe once or twice. After you come on a third time, you're
No
like us.
longer a guest.
You no longer a guest. You are part of this madness. So they get two, but since you're only half us, you only get one. That's her logic. I'm gonna keep it because I want to keep the peace, and we all know happy Elaine is good Elaine. because Crabby Lane, oh my goodness, we've already had a hurricane named after her. Trust me, we need to keep her happy.
Haha.
But
Funny, 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 funny.
no, I'm not joking. I
Oh
mean,
no,
you can
I
laugh it up.
believe it. That's my sarcasm laugh. That's
Oh
my
yeah,
whatever. But you know what? Fair. I might do the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot, so I ain't gonna say no.
you would. You would.
Yeah,
It's
I
not.
would.
Oh, I wouldn't. If the shoe was on, you totally would. You're a mean person, but we love you nonetheless. But y'all, before we really get into it, this is it. We're finally on. You see our faces. You see the faces that have the voices that you listen to. So to all 5 listeners who may now become all 5 viewers, this is us. This is what we look like. Yes, I do have a face for audio podcasting, and I'm okay with that.
You
But
do
these other
stop
two,
it.
and
Stop
if you
it.
see Helene, you'll realize, yes, they deserve to be on YouTube. You are supposed to see the beauty. You are supposed to see the boobage. Rhea, keep the pup. No, ma'am. Keep the puppies. Keep them at bay. Down, girl. Down. Um, but yeah,
No, no,
we're on YouTube
no,
now.
no,
So
no. Not in this
no, no.
house.
No. Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo,
Yes,
the great
yes.
giant of the
Oh,
NBA.
he was such a
Man,
good man, though. As a
oh
man,
my,
like
yeah,
how he took care of his people, how his money was his people's money, his village. He
yeah.
just he
Everybody,
didn't think twice about it. He was just the kindest man.
and if you don't know who we're talking about, oh my goodness, you are such a Gen Zer. Dikembe Mutombo was one of the greatest defensive players in the NBA, man. From
Yes.
oh man, I think he got drafted in 80, 88, 89. Because I
Did he?
know he came. It was somewhere around there. I was,
Really?
yeah, because he came from Georgetown. I'm sorry, Rhea. This is sports talk. Hold on. Um, he came from Georgetown, just like another legendary center, Patrick Ewing, straight from
Ah,
Jamaica. Bobo, that's for you,
I
Rhea.
just want to say I
Bombakla.
used to have the biggest crush on Patrick Ewing.
I had
Patrick
his
Ewing?
shoes. Look, everybody has somebody, Rhea. You gotta let
No.
it go. Stop it.
That's weird
Stop it.
taste.
Brit,
Reggie Jackson
Brit,
does not look like a skull. He looks good.
who?
Not Reggie Jackson.
Reggie
Who's
Reggie
Jackson?
Miller.
Reggie Jackson? Oh,
Reggie
Reggie
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah.
His sister Cheryl was a much better player. I'm just kidding. Reggie Miller was a great NBA player. But no, man, Dikembe, dude, I
Tumbo.
mean, you could not drive to the basket during his time in the NBA, especially when he came in straight from college, straight from Georgetown University. Played for the Hawks, I believe, played for the Nets. I believe he had a stint with the
Not a stint.
76ers. Well, he played with the a stint. I'm sorry. Hey, look, I'm trying. We can't.
The stint.
It's not a stint. No, not in his heart valves, not in his veins, Rhea.
I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
This is
But
her way
That's
of
my
protesting
Kardashian
sports
voice.
talk.
oh, a stint. Thank you.
Not a stint.
Oh dear Lord. But he was one of the greatest to ever
Yep.
play basketball. He is in the top 75 players of all time. Um he was a defensive giant. He was a blocking machine. He was the master of the no, 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 no. It was so cool. He blocked Jordan. He blocked Pippen. He blocked Isaiah. Any of your top players have gotten blocked by Dikembe Mutombo. Don't even try to argue. Fight with your mama. Argue with your daddy. Arm wrestle your grandma. Dikembe Mutombo was that dude. But yes, he passed away from I think brain cancer. I
Yeah, some
didn't know
sort
the
of
man was
cancer.
yeah, well, he was sick. Um,
That's really sad.
56 years old,
That's so
still young,
young.
still young.
Mm.
That is
And it
incredibly young, thank you.
yeah,
That's almost
yeah, and
infantile.
Okay, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, well, again, I do hope the league as well as the teams will find ways to give tribute to him, retire his number because he really was one of the best players to touch the basketball, in my opinion. I know some will say, no, no, he didn't do that. You know what? Shut up. Go sit in the corner. Talk amongst yourselves. But yeah, rest in peace to the great Dikembe Mutombo. Also, did y'all see the craziness with John Amos
With the
that's been
girl?
going on? Oh,
His daughter,
it's even crazier than the girl.
No, no,
the
the girl who
daughter.
said that she got some good
Oh
stuff from
yeah,
him.
that picture that still throws me off. But hey, man, look, if he came and went at the same time,
Okay.
every man would want that. Um, hopefully not like the color purple. How'd he
Oh,
die?
I
On
was
top of me.
watching something that just let you know it was an old man. It was like some video, and this old man back like 30 years ago was saying that he wished they could come up with a service where men, when a man's about to go, she's having sex with him. Like, so if you know you're gonna die, you can book it ahead of time.
Oh geez, it's not a B Airbnb. I
I'm
don't know.
sweating in this
Uh,
movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's your fault. That is your fault. Oh, it's time. Men, oh, pause. When Miss Ray hits the room, men, oh, pause. No, it's time. You old dog. You're feeling it. You're feeling it. Burn, burn. I say. But anyway, no, there's more to it. Oh, oh, yeah.
No.
Brit is the only one who has yet felt the heat. So sooner or later, it's gonna happen. But with the John Amos thing, I'm gonna make it quick. The family is feuding big time.
I didn't know that.
Supposedly
Daughter's
now,
all pissed off.
well, the daughter got online and said, "I'm learning about my father's death just like you."
Right, like
Um,
67 days after he passed. I did
Yeah,
see
because
right,
that's
that.
what
man.
he wanted.
Yeah, like he never. No one knew he was gone since August.
Right.
And it kind of reminds me, and Rhea, yes, I'm gonna do it. It reminds me when MF Doom died. No one knew he had died until his wife made the announcement on a New Year's Eve of 2020, I believe, or
Ray,
2020. Yeah, it
Long.
was
be
2020.
How
Helene in
long
this
had.
situation.
He
Be
died
Helene,
on
Ray.
Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he had died on Halloween, and everybody was like, "Oh man, rest in peace to one of the great MCs, MF Doom, blah 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 blah." And then here comes another note like Doom had been gone since October 31st, and everybody's like, "Wait, what?"
Mm.
I'm confused. I don't get it. But the fans have pretty much labeled and christened Halloween now as Doomsday. So
Oh, okay.
me being a MF Doom fan, what you'll see sooner or later in the background, there's gonna be a MF Doom standee figure chilling in the cut. Um, I was super excited. I'm happy it's sad he got his flowers as usual with many artists after they're dead and
After.
gone. But the fact that people are respecting and understanding, how dope he was, yo, props to it. Um, but I give respect to his wife because maybe for her, she needed time and
Yeah,
didn't want
everything
to
doesn't
go
have to be
through.
public right away.
Right. It doesn't have to always, John Q. Public doesn't have to always know everything. So
We don't actually have the right to know anything.
true,
Honestly, we
true.
don't have the
Other
right
than
to
being
know.
educated on the world, Brit,
Right.
we have
No,
the
but
right
what I'm
for
talking about
knowledge.
is celebrities. We actually
Yeah,
don't have the right to know anything about their lives. Anything that we know is either forced out of them, it's taken from them, or
Or
they
it's
have to
carefully
arrange it.
curated by their
Right.
PR team.
And
true,
they have to
true.
arrange it because they don't want it to come out this way that they're being threatened with. I mean, and
Yeah,
you know how I'm not a big fan of celebrities, but it's that kind of shit. We've gotten to the point in our lives as a country where we think we have the right to know these things. Like just because you're up there and I've decided to watch you and I'm part of the billions who make you, the millionaire billionaire you are, you
Right.
now owe me your whole life. And that's
Well, and
crazy.
speaking of billionaires, no, I can't get
How
into
long
that.
have we been on? 15 minutes? Fucking crazy.
Oh, okay. So you timing when you gonna?
Oh my
Okay,
God.
yeah, go for it, Britt.
Have we been
Yippee.
on?
We've been honestly, yeah, sure. We'll see where this goes, but thank you for
Cut that
saying
out.
billionaire because if y'all heard earlier, I just need to get this off my chest really
Do
quick.
it.
But before I do that, again going back to the Florida situation, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you see this video, if you hear this podcast, please, if you were affected by Hurricane Milton or Hurricane Helene, or Helen, I don't care how they pronounce it, or Helene, like our little tormenta of a black woman.
That's a good way to describe her.
Please go to FEMA, get on that website, apply for disaster relief.
Can I
Do
give out the
not
website?
what is it? FEMA.gov? Oh,
www.disaster.gov.
okay.
Wait a
www.
minute. Disaster. Wait a minute.
Girl, now watch, you gonna have them on some kind of hub site. You better be careful. Are
Let me
you in for
confirm that.
disasters? I'd be like Brit.
Disasterassistance.gov.
There we go.
Not
Okay,
just
so
disaster.
disasterassistance.gov.
You can apply for Helene, something called Mary, which I never heard of, Milton, and some other thing that you may have been affected by recently.
I believe it's for the U.S., for the Gulf Coast. It's Francine, Helene, Milton. Mary, wasn't that the hurricane that like just steamrolled over Puerto Rico?
It may have been.
That, but and
I
that
wasn't
was
affected by that one, so I didn't
yeah,
really
that was
hear about that one.
2019, 2020. Yeah, that was 2020 because we were in the heart of the we were in like the thick of COVID around that time. And I could be wrong. Hey, look, if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. What Hurricane Mary, I do believe that was the one that ran through Puerto Rico that had a
Puerto
certain
Rico.
orange and
Puerto
beige
Rico.
politician leader, and I say that loosely, throwing paper towels, shooting paper towels at the at the citizens who were in need. But please, disasterassistance.gov, go there. Please fill out the paperwork, man.
Get your money.
Get your money. And please get your house fixed.
I really need
use
this
it for the
money
right
because my job, if you don't work, you don't get paid, even though this was a natural disaster. So I missed 2 days of pay. So I really need this FEMA money to make my rent.
That's a mess. That's
Isn't
a mess.
that terrible?
Yeah, because my former place of employment, when Francine ran through, we lucked out. So we still had the day off, but we got paid for it.
Yeah,
And
my
if we
former
didn't,
company paid for it too. There's certain companies that will pay for it, but some other ones, like the current one I work for.
Yeah. Well, speaking of former employee, yes, I am AKA Mr. Paranoid and Unemployed. I was let go on Tuesday. So by the time you hear this, it would be last week.
This is his GoFundMe intro. Continue.
Nah, ain't gonna be none of that. I'll have to say this. And people keep asking me how am I holding up? How am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I just tell them I'm good. I haven't committed any crimes. I haven't done anything stupid. I'm just good. And at first, I'll be honest, I was kind of lying so I could get people to stop asking me. Like, hey, I'm good. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the concern. I appreciate it. But at the same time, I'm gonna tell the truth. I broke down, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. And It was because I was talking with my mom, and I was
Yeah.
just talking about what happened Tuesday, how it just hit.
Mm.
And this ain't my first time I lost a job. But this time it wasn't as much of a brutal um let go. The first like layoff, and it's not really a layoff. I got terminated over some dumb stuff. Um I always say it was out of malice because the general manager wasn't a big fan of me, which was fine. Look, I'm not for everybody. But I will say, since I may never see this MF ever again, he kind of looked like Dana Carvey dressed as the church lady, dressed as the turtle guy he did in Master of the Sky.
Turtle, turtle.
Turtle, turtle, turtle. Um, so if you and I want to say his name, but I ain't giving. I'm not putting life into a
No, don't do
demon.
it.
Um, what Brit? Hurry up.
No, no, no. I just wanted to say in commiseration to you, I think we should both, me and Reyes, say a job we've been fired from.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as I say this, I could tell
We got to
y'all.
give the name of the company.
I will. You don't have to. You can just tell the
No, I'm
general
not gonna do
whatever.
that. I have no ill will towards the company that let me go.
Yeah. Well, at first, when I got let go from the first TV station I worked at here locally, oh, I was MF. I don't get y'all could burn in hell for all I care.
Mhm.
But it was so crazy because that was around election time,
Mm.
and they called me because I was the only person who could set up their election boards to
Mm.
where the computer, all they did was type it up and the computer would automatically do the math and put the
Mm.
percentage and everything. I knew how to do all of that. Program it, set it up, run it, um,
They always let
create.
go of valuable people.
Well, exactly. And it was my former manager who told them to call me. And
Mm.
at first I was cool about it. I was like, well, look, I I can't tell you over the phone. This ain't how it's gonna be because it's
Mhm.
way too much stuff you have to do. Um, but let me think about it. And then I say, wait a minute, I'm gonna charge y'all,
Yeah, be
you know.
work as a consultant.
And the chief engineer at the time, he was the cat that literally told me, he said, look, if I can get you some money, let me know how much, blah, blah, blah. I say, but look, you ain't gotta worry about it. I'll tell you right now, it's straight up $1,000. That's it. 1,000. And I said, look, I don't even know if I'm welcome in the building, so I don't even know why you even want me to come and help you. And he's like, don't worry about it. I can handle it. Like I had former coworkers saying, we'll walk with you through the building so nobody will mess with you. And I'm like, girl,
That is
I'm
so
6'2".
right.
I'm
Nobody's gonna
6'2".
mess with me.
I'm good. I don't fear none of these people I work with or I used to work with. Anybody come at me sideways, I'll knock them straight.
Mhm.
So, but this was old me. This was like younger Anthony, Afro having. I was bigger than I am now. And he calls me back. He said, "Look, I really need your help, but that's too much." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if it's too much, I mean, that's all I can do.
That's the price.
That's the price."
Yesterday's
And
price is not today's
today's
price.
price. Shout out to Fat Jules. So it was so crazy how it all came down, and I told him, and this is how I ended the conversation because everybody kept calling me, asking me to help. And I just went, look here. At the end of the day, I didn't burn the bridge between myself and the building and this station. Your general manager burned the bridge. He lit the fuse, he blew the bridge up. I'm not crossing over old bridges and destroyed bridges. I got to move forward, just like everybody else got to move forward. So
Right.
fast forward to today, from what I learned from that time, when they called me in, because I had already they chopped enough people. It was a, it was a it was an
Bloodbath.
execution. Oh yeah, and like I told a former coworker, yo, straight up, this is a funeral on loop. It's infinite. It feels like it's not gonna stop. So by the time I got the phone call to go in the office to talk with the general manager, who I have the utmost respect for, and she's looking at me and she's tearing up, and I just do this, rip the band-aid. Let's do it. Rip it. I appreciate the compassion. I appreciate the energy. I appreciate y'all actually like me. You
At
know, it's
least they
cool.
have a soul.
Yeah. And I wasn't sitting there like, well, let's see. I know I could throw this desk. I can do that. None of that pop in my head like last time. Because when the general manager at my previous job told me, well, you're a big, intimidating individual, and I kind of moved in my seat and he backed up a little bit. I said, okay,
Wow.
well, you a little bitch
Were
made,
they
but
a
it's
white
okay.
person?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a
On both
microaggression.
occasions. But it also shows that sometimes gender does have kind of like a good factor in it, because this guy was trying to be like, well, I'm the boss here, and he was probably only 5'7". You know, I could eat soup on his head and throw him in the trash if I needed to. But with my, you know, recent general manager, she was understanding, she got it. She just told me like this, look, Anthony, I have no control. I said, honey, nobody got control. It ain't your decision.
Mm.
It's the man who owns the corporation's decision. And you'll find it. I mean, they were trying to hide it so nobody knew. But once you say mandatory meeting, everybody understood what was about to happen. So they had to cut so much in the budget in order to make things even. And sadly, I, as well as it's all good. 18 other people got let go. But I will say this. And I was listening to a podcast called Around the Way Curls. And one of the hosts, Antoinette Lee, and I hope I got her name right, she was talking about that with her job and how, the stress of work, but she was at this, what they call them? Team building
Yeah.
exercises and, gatherings. And one of the people that was running the team building segment said, we're a family and we're together more than you are with your family. So let's let's work as a team and as a family. And I started to think about it and I was like, oh my goodness, that is true. When we're employed, we are with our coworkers damn near more than we are with our family members.
Mm-hmm.
40 hours a week we give our time to a business that in some cases may not give a damn who you are.
You sound like me. You sound like me when all the times I was saying that and y'all was arguing with me. And I would constantly say that. In the end, no matter how loyal you are, you don't care. They don't care. It's not like the olden days. They get rid of you so fast. They will have you come in,
Yeah.
work a whole day, and then, hey, don't come back, or like wait till Friday night and then let you know you ain't coming back on Monday.
I'll be
What?
honest though, Britt. Tell me Friday night so I know my weekend is extended. Like straight off the top. I got let go on a Tuesday.
That's weird.
I
Wednesday, Thursday, I was walking around like, let me tell you something. I dropped my nephews to school. For 2 days straight, Wednesday, Thursday, I was about to
right,
drop them off and then
Go to work.
and go to work.
right.
And on Thursday, if it wasn't for my mom, because I had to bring
No,
her to the doctor and everything, if it wasn't for her to go, oh, I gotta be there for 8 o'clock, I was about to turn on that road again. And I kind of looked at her and I said, oh, you in the truck? And she just goes, well, where the hell I was supposed to be? You bringing me for my procedure? I say, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, let's go. She said, boy, okay.
Well,
And
you're so used to the routine
yeah.
that you're on autopilot when you get in your vehicle.
And I'm still like that now when I wake up. I wake up at 5 in the morning. I will look on my phone, check my emails,
You're not
and
sleeping in. You're not reaping the benefits of being unemployed.
I go walk. I go
Mm.
enjoy walking. Like I enjoy being outside. I enjoy walking, and even when I was working, there are days I would walk out the building and just walk the block and then come back because I
Mm.
needed that, like a little bit of sunshine. Because I worked in the office with no windows, mind you.
Oh,
All I had was brick. All I
yeah.
could see was beige, like brick color bricks. That was it.
Did you say
So I would,
beige brick color?
yeah,
Bricks
your
Brick.
that
your
are
Brick.
complexion.
Oh
my
shit! I thought he said brick.
No,
Beige brick
beige,
color.
beige, brick. Yes, they were the same complexion as Brit. So I would just, kind of stare at that. And now I will say I did watch a lot of YouTube, but it was mostly like tutorials and things like that because no matter how much, I always feel like I need to keep learning. So I'm always watching tutorials with editing, shooting, lighting, stuff like that. And
Mhm.
the one thing I'm saying I need to get off of this because while I'm no longer feeling emotional about it, it does always bring memories.
Yeah.
Everybody I've worked with, I loved, even when they worked my last good nerve.
yeah.
And everybody that got let go with me, if they ever hear this, I just want to say this. And to anybody who's been let go from a job, even if you say F it, I feel good, F these people, fuck these folks,
No,
I'm
it's a
going to get this check.
trauma
It's a
losing
trauma.
your job.
You're going to feel a little loss. You're going to feel a lot of anger. Um, a little paranoia will kick in because you kind of question, well, why me?
Mhm.
And you start coming up with all these scenarios, what you could have done. Maybe I should have worked this. Maybe I should have did. Let me tell you something. If you could get that out of your head, get it out your head.
Well, in my situation, my firing was completely avoidable.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get fired because the the input that I put into my job was lacking. Because
Yeah.
I stopped caring after a while.
You
So
did minimum effort,
I sure
which a
did.
lot of folks
I
are
showed
doing.
up, and sometimes
Yeah.
I didn't even do that. Sometimes I called out,
Yeah.
and we had unlimited sick time, so I
Isn't that
totally
quiet
abused it.
quitting?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
it is.
Okay, that's what I.
Yeah.
It
Minimum
is.
effort. Minimum
Right.
effort
You
with
show up and you just go through the motions.
I love it because they had a young lady on TikTok talking about quiet quitting, and she just goes, "Honey, it is minimum effort with maximum results, and it works every time." And I'm like, "Oh man, I want to do that." But the funny thing is, I loved my job.
Yeah.
I love the job. I love the creativity they were letting me have. I love that. Hopefully, I'll find something like that again. And if not, guess what? I'm marrying Donald's son. I'm not going in there half-ass when I go to work. You're gonna get 100% of me. But when 5 p.m. hit, I don't know you. I'm like
Hmm.
Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know you. I don't care about you.
Somebody
We're
at my
done.
job remarked that you leave at 4:30 on the dot. I was like, yeah.
Yes.
What else am I supposed to do?
Right.
Walk
Yeah.
around and kiss everybody? No, peace out.
Done. If the
I'm
clock,
Mine.
done.
if it says
Mine
4:30,
was. I was for mine. My worst getting fired because there's been a few. Not a few like that, but there's situations where I've quit and I've made the quitting so intolerable for the boss that they asked me to leave sooner. But
Oh God.
jeez,
I'd
yeah,
already
you're,
quit.
but you
But
you
no,
horrible, Brit.
Brits a
but no,
problem everywhere.
listen.
Yeah, you are
One I got
just
fired from was the police academy. Was the police department. I got fired
The
from the
popo
police.
didn't even want you.
exactly. You could have
No,
ran in and say, "Hey, I'd like to hit knickknacks upside their head." No, you
no. What had happened
She
was
wanted to burn the establishment from the inside
no,
out.
no,
oh Lord.
understand. This is what had happened. What had happened was I was doing a ride along with one of the police officers for the department I got hired onto. And I guess we were joking back and forth, and I guess I made a disparaging joke about his masculinity in some way, shape, or form. So he held
Uh-oh.
on to it. He then, when
Yeah.
I went into the academy, they were hiding him there and he became my person, so it was a whole sexual harassment thing. But I knew it was coming because they had wanted me gone from day one. They wanted the problem gone,
Yeah. Well,
and they
I mean,
couldn't
you gave
find
them their
anything.
wish.
And
Yeah.
well, they just got rid of me.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's not even like for me, it wasn't like I was a disciplinary problem or anything. I mean, I was there for 13 years. I
But
Wow.
could you have
started
seen
off
me as
in
a
master
cop?
control. Huh?
I'm sorry, but could you
I
have
could
seen me as
see you
a
as a
cop?
cop, but I wouldn't take you
Not
serious.
No.
anymore.
Not at 5 foot, you
No,
know.
because if you
No.
bumped into my brother and he started going on his diatribe about how all cops are bad, you'd be like, "Yeah, I know my brother. I know."
Yeah. And you're probably gonna let him into the evidence room. Let him into the weapons supply. Yeah, yeah, Britt, we know.
Inside.
Okay, again, not on Joe Budden's internet. You do not give the plan. What is wrong with you? I told you, we are not going to jail for you. We're snitching. We're snitching.
You know I'm a dry
Or
snitch all day. So
and
No, Ray is snitching because Ray
Rhea
snitched on
snitched
her
on her
own
mama.
mama.
Last episode, Rhea does not care. Rhea is in a moo and she has nothing to lose. Don't put yourself in that situation. What is wrong with you? But yo, anyway, we gotta move on. So, but again, to everybody who got, let go along with myself, I love y'all. Y'all were seriously my second family. To the folks who are still there, hey, continue to do your work. Um, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I'm not watching the stations no more. It is what it is.
Right.
Um, it's because everything that y'all show I could watch on Hulu or I
do
could
you
watch on.
do you in your industry when you apply for a job, do you have to give like a sizzle reel of all the
Yes,
work
and
that you've done?
I'm already
You already
working on
have
that.
that? Okay, good.
Well, and the crazy thing is, just like any place, especially in television, if you're working in television and you're ready to go, or you have it in your bones that they're about to let you go, grab all of your work.
Mhm.
Make sure if you are working in the creative department, if you're an editor, if you're a writer, grab everything that you've done from your scripts to your graphics, the graphics you create, to the promos that you've done, to commercial production that you've done. Grab it. Grab it or edit your reel. I'm gonna give you a secret. Edit your reel there and then just take it off. Delete the project.
Yeah. Oh
Because
my god,
everything you
I've
do
deleted
is
Also,
so
owned by the
much
station.
shit at
thank you.
places of
That
work.
right there.
Yeah.
I
That.
this one job that I left the job on my own, but they were such assholes that I unplugged my computer because they were all boomers. And
Uh-huh.
it took them 2 days because I still had a friend that worked there. It took them 2 days to figure out that I had just unplugged my printer and my computer. They couldn't figure out. They called IT in. They couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. Like, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
I left this one job because they were assholes. And I had built a system for them, a whole system. I had plugged in everybody's information. They needed the directory, all of this. Everything I built, I deleted.
Yep, you
Yeah. I
got to.
mean, I've took all my projects and it's not like I'm being rude. I mean, they still have it, but I kept a copy for
Copy
myself
of it, yeah.
because the thing is that I need to let people know what I can do. And in all honesty, I think that should be something that whether a person is leaving on their own terms, resigning, want to move on, or if you feel like I got to make budgets and cut people, like what happened to me, give them that little bit, just that tiny bit of grace
Yeah,
to say, hey, you're in this department. I have a feeling you are going to need some things in order to move on.
yeah,
All right, we give you 2 days. You could come in, supervise, edit what you got to edit. Once you finish, send your stuff to the cloud or wherever where you can pull it anytime you want. And then, hey, thank you for everything you've done. Appreciate you. Peace out. They didn't do that because right when I left, before I left, my whole existence was wiped completely.
Oh yeah, I had asked if I could say goodbye to everybody in Slack, and she's like, "You're already deleted,
Yeah.
so I
Well, the
can
good
tell
thing,
everybody you said goodbye."
right? The good thing with me was kind of crazy. I asked the chief engineer. I said, "Hey, look, I just need to get a box or two out my office, and we're good." And he's like, "Come on." So he walked with me. As I'm walking down, after I told my producer, because they let me and another producer go, but they kept a producer. The person I hired, they kept, which was fine. And I told them, you're a good choice. Just do what you got to do. Handle your business. So as I'm walking out, I said, you know what? Nah, yo, I need to let people know I'm leaving. Is it okay?
Can you say goodbye?
Yeah. And he looked at me. He said, you've been here the longest. I can't tell you no. So he gave me the opportunity. I went put stuff in my truck. I go in there, man. I tell everybody, people were shocked. They was like, nope, don't believe you. Stop playing. This is what you do. No. And I was like, nah, I gotta go. But it's okay. Y'all continue to do the work. Y'all continue to do great things. Hopefully our paths cross again. Y'all got my number. Y'all know where I be.
Who's
And
their
I'll
competitor?
let
Who's
you
their
go.
direct competitor?
Direct competitors, I'll just give the names. Channel 3 and Channel 10, ABC and then ABC and CBS. Channel 10 is the CBS, the local CBS affiliate, and Channel 3 is the local ABC affiliate. Where I was, it was an NBC and Fox affiliate. So we were a
Okay.
duopoly.
Okay.
Um, and the funny thing is, we were making strides. We were finally getting that rhythm. Our station was the new kid on the block. We had really just started a full fledged news department in 2016, but too much buying and selling. And then when you finally get some kind of, oh, okay, I think we know where we're going and things start working, that's when it just goes down. And I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is. But we got to move on. I got to stretch. I feel better about saying that. I have nothing bad to say. Ain't got shit to do. But the owner of the corporation, I wish you all the best cuz hey, you know the seven deadly sins. Greed is one of them. Be very careful. Be very very careful. But anyway, I know Britt didn't want to talk about it, but we talked about celebrities what last week or the week, well no, not even last week, 2 weeks ago cuz we took a little break. But this Jaguar Wright thing is getting crazier by
Yeah.
the day. And by crazier, I mean her and Orlando Brown merged to form a very
Okay.
reflected looking Voltron. And I don't know what I was
My
I was
my thing
I'm confused.
with Jaguar Wright is I believe about 1/5 of everything that she says.
Okay.
I take everything she says with a grain of salt because she's been so far removed from the industry that how could she know half of the stuff that she knows? She's talking in current times about some of the information that she says that
Hmm.
she knows. Who's telling her this? Nobody, because she got blackballed from the industry.
Well, last I heard in that interview she did, in many of her interviews, I didn't know she was a sex worker.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Which interview was
Neither did I.
this? Was this on
Piers
Piers
Morgan.
Morgan? Oh, I only saw the clip. I didn't watch the whole interview.
She basically said, because I used to do sex work. And I'm like, wait, what? Not
Oh,
Songbird.
I don't believe her.
I look, you
She's
can have
she's she's
friends
got
in the
mental illness that she's not addressing.
well, I know a lot of that stems from her son dying,
Yeah.
being killed in 2018. And sorry, y'all. Y'all want to hear a guess? Here we go. Hey, what's up? Oh, they went eat breakfast and they on the road. Well, it's your oldest, probably your youngest. Oh, I'm recording, woman. Bye.
Who's that? Your sister?
No, that was my mom.
That's your mom?
That's my mom. That
I
was my
love her
mom.
accent.
Oh, it only when she knows how to code switch. So
Mhm.
she know with us. Don't come with that hello. How are you? No. Uh-uh. What you want? Where you at? How long is gonna be? I'm like, I don't know. You can't find me. And I be where I be. And I don't know when I walk through the door. But no, that was my mom. So I had to get her out of the way because she'll keep calling.
Mhm.
Um, but no, the thing with Jag, I was introduced to her with music. I was introduced to her really on that Jay-Z Unplugged.
Unplugged, and she did Song Cry.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, she's good. And then she
She's
had did
dope
some
as hell. She's
yeah,
very talented.
she did stuff with the Roots. I love the work she did with them. But then she disappeared. Then all
She
of a sudden,
disappeared, and then all of a sudden, people started paying her to come on and talk and be a talking
yeah,
head about the industry.
okay.
And she started dropping little bits and pieces of stuff, but she never really completes a thought.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so salacious, the things that come out of her mouth, that you're like, oh, what is she gonna say next?
Right.
And then she starts naming names, but she can't really give you the full story. Like what she said about Jay-Z and Beyonce, she called them a nasty couple. She
Uh-huh.
has given no information about what she means by that.
No.
So I pay her dust. And it's not because I'm a Beyonce stan. I pay her dust about everybody she talks about, Diddy included,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think she was around for any of the Diddy parties. I don't think she was accepted back then. I think that when she got blackballed, she lost all of her connections in the industry.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, she was on not substance. What is it called? She was on supplemental income, EBT.
Yeah.
She was really rock bottom with everything.
Right. Because I
The
remember
way she
her.
makes her money is by giving interviews. So the
Got you.
more outrageous the interviews that she gives, the more people want to book her. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
money grab, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I know her and Moni Love had issues when Moni was still
Moni in the
DJ.
middle?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was a hot mess, man. Jaguar was going off on this woman. I mean, calling her everything but a child of God and what her mama put on her birth certificate. I mean, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it, Moni Love alludes to it. And she said, yeah, I was in situations, but it wasn't all she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But what got me is when she called that and said Questlove and the Roots were getting the women for Puffy when he'd visit Philadelphia.
Oh my
That
God.
right there made me say, all right,
Wow.
we gotta have a conversation. What's going on?
Isn't Jag from
Hold up.
Philadelphia?
She is a Philly native,
Yeah.
straight out of Philly. But again, I don't understand some of the things that she was just trying to throw. It's almost like she had to over sensationalize
Yeah.
stuff to be heard.
Because she wants to book more gigs.
Because even Pierce Morgan's like, wait, well, we don't
What?
have
They're
Beyonce and
not
Jay Z
here to
here.
defend themselves.
And when I watched the interview for that one, and they brought in somebody, I forgot who it was. I forgot exactly who they brought in. It was two other guests.
Mm-hmm.
The woman that they
Oh, the
brought in,
attorney?
the attorney,
Yeah.
when she told Jag, look, my sister, you need to lawyer up.
Yeah.
Because if what you say is true, you're gonna need the law behind, to have your
Well,
back.
that's why people are coming out and saying, if what she's saying is not true, how come people haven't sued her? What are they going to sue her for?
Right.
The shoes
Well,
on her back?
but you
On
could
her
still put
feet,
a
I mean?
I mean, look, times are hard. People are putting their shoes on their back just to have them fresh for when their feet don't work. That's an old Step and Fetch It joke. Um, so, Britt, you have something to say? Because I mean, you didn't want to get into this.
No, I want to address Piers Morgan's apology.
Oh, I mean, go for it. I don't even understand his apology. It was kind of funny.
I don't understand it, but I know why he made it.
Oh,
'cause you
I
know
know
that
why he
lawsuit
made
would
it.
come.
I just want to say the fact that somehow he tried to make it everybody but his responsibility, that
Yeah.
nobody was vetted, there was no, fact checking going on, any of that.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, the
Well,
tone was so racist and just
How was the tone racist?
Pierce Morgan's
I mean,
tone.
I believe he is a racist, but
he's a sedity Brit.
the way he went after Meghan
Not
Markle didn't make any
Right.
right.
sense.
Right. I mean, the way he was unloading it was almost like, ugh, it's I felt like if she had been a white woman who did those things, it would have been a different tone. I don't
Mhm.
think he would have behaved. He would have said it the way he said it, with just complete, it's not my responsibility, none of that. When in reality, it is his responsibility. And he needs to take account for the fact that he just assumed, well, if it goes wrong, it's a black chick, we'll just get rid of her. It all felt like that to me. And it was oh, I'm sorry I offended you. If you were offended by what I said, it was just that.
Mhm.
He's placating to the good blacks, the
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce's,
Mhm.
by throwing the bad black
Mhm.
Jaguar Wright under the bus.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
But what I have learned is that
A little
the
high.
reason why they're not suing a Jaguar Wright is because they're not going to get anything. She's going to keep saying what she's saying because she's unhinged. They're going after the platforms that put her
Right.
on,
Right.
because that's going to have the most impact.
As they should.
And that was
Because
the biggest platform that she's ever been on, because if you look at any
Thank
of
you.
her other interviews, it's just a YouTube here, a TikTok
Yeah.
here, an
Mhm.
Instagram live here.
Mhm.
It's not a major network show. This was
It's
the
like
first major
drug dealing.
network show that put her on.
Right. It's
Mhm.
like that drug dealing tier. It's like, do I want to pop just the guy on the corner, or do I want to turn until I can?
Right. It's like all the witnesses for Diddy. They don't want the witnesses. They don't want the
Right.
people who participated in the freak offs. They want Diddy and anybody
Right.
above Diddy.
Right.
Yeah. And the one thing I was looking at with the whole situation is with Pierce Morgan. I will say this, and I will say it as a former worker of television news. Pierce, it is your fault.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to take blame.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to take some accountability. Period. Point blank, which many of his ilk will not do because they feel like their lack of melanation privilege
Mm-hmm.
keeps them high above any kind of accountability. But what I will say is, Pierce, you run a news media platform. You have been doing what you call journalism for over 30 years. You know good and damn well that when producers or folks who do guest relations book a guest, they vet the guest. They ask questions. They try to get as much information as possible on that guest so they can give it to the host or journalist, which would be you, Pierce Morgan. Jew.
I can see Jaguar Wright talking circles around anybody who tried to vet her, because I'm going to assume that the people on Pierce Morgan's team are all white.
Yeah.
And Jaguar Wright knows how to talk. She's a talker. She's a
Yeah.
smooth talker. She knows how to get around things. So if
And
they ask her period point blank question, she's going to create a scenario around that that's going to cause
right.
chaos and confusion.
But one of the
Also,
crazier things, go ahead, Britt.
I was gonna say, also in that vein, she's gonna know that they don't know a large majority of the
Right.
circle she runs in. So she can say
Absolutely.
almost anything, and they don't want to look like they don't know, so they'll just
Right.
get
And they
on her
don't have
word.
they don't have sources that can confirm
Right.
any of her nonsense that
Exactly.
she's spouting.
Right.
Right.
But here's the
So
thing. When you vet someone and you can't corroborate or you can't find the sources,
Then you don't have them
you're
on your show.
you don't have them on your show.
But he
right
wanted some sensationalized
there,
information
And
about
that
and he
right there.
wanted
Black
it
Hollywood.
right, but he wanted it to step away from him. he didn't want to just report on it. He wanted it far enough removed so that if it went downhill, it
He
wasn't really
wanted a
me.
viral moment. That's what he
Right.
wanted.
Pretty much.
And he
And he
wanted
Because
to
got it.
not
he
lose
hasn't
his
had one
job.
since Meghan Markle.
Right.
Yep.
And he didn't want to lose his job. So she was
Right.
just, you know,
Well, was that
sac-
was the thing? Because I
sacrificial
saw it
lamb.
online. Right. I saw it online. Was this thing made for? Was it on television? Because I know it damn sure
Yeah,
wasn't on
it's on his
CNN.
show called Uncensored. I think it's
Okay,
a BBC show.
it's a BBC show. Okay,
I
so yeah,
believe
the
so.
BBC. Got it. All right. So again, he knows good and well about the vetting process.
Mhm.
Whether it's a guest, you vet for guests all the way till you vet for vice presidential picks, right? Everybody gets vetted, regardless. You go for a job, you're getting vetted in the interview process. So, yeah, I agree with y'all. You know, this was a moment. This
A
was a
simple
viral moment.
background check with all of her arrests
But
would have
here's the
told him
thing.
that she wasn't a good guest.
How do you not know that they told him that? And he went,
Yeah,
I still want to go forward anyway because
Yeah.
this won't be on me and it will
He
give
wanted
me.
he wanted an insider scoop.
yeah.
That's what
He also wanted a patsy. She was his
Mhm.
patsy because he would have
And Diddy
ridden
was the
this
story.
until this whole piece. He would have ridden this shit until the wheels
Until
fell
she
off.
went off script and didn't talk
Right.
about Diddy.
Right.
Exactly.
And then she just started going left,
Talking about a bigger fish, Beyonce
Yeah.
and Jay-Z.
which
But here's
I'm
my thing.
still.
Mm. I will
Well,
say this
again,
about that. I will say this about that.
what is that
If
rubbing?
That's my neighbor upstairs doing some
Oh,
sort of
construction work or something?
some sort
Oh.
of workout
Oh,
something.
yeah, I was
Nordic
just
don't
yelling, hey,
crap.
fat ass.
It's
We're
a Nordic
recording.
crap.
Oh, sidebar. She looks like JoJo Siwa, my upstairs neighbor.
Oh, okay. I'm going to leave that alone. We're on YouTube now, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm joking. Oh, man,
She's
okay.
a nice girl. I'm friendly
Yeah.
with her. She's nice.
So
Okay.
what I was gonna say was, see y'all.
I don't know. That don't sound like a workout. That sounds like a horizontal.
I mean, maybe
sounds-
she's jerking off. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I'm just assuming it's some sort of workout because it's on the floor.
What were we talking about? Then I was going to.
you were talking about Pierce Morgan,
and Celebrity and Jaguar Wright.
while Red's
Yes.
upstairs neighbor is getting her back blown out. Continue. I don't
I'm
get
just
it.
saying she was his patsy.
And this is joke.
He
Mhm.
he enjoyed every moment of it because she's.
I don't know.
inconsequential.
He got uncomfortable when she mentioned Jay-Z and Beyonce. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're not here
Oh,
to
that's
defend
what
themselves.
actually
Right.
I was gonna say. It's about Jay-Z and Beyonce. So I'm gonna say this about it. It either is true or it isn't true. And
She didn't say anything. She
just said
literally
they're-
just said
they're
they're
a
a
nasty
nasty
couple.
couple. That's all she said. She didn't give any facts. She didn't give any background. She didn't give any stories. She
Yeah.
hasn't worked with Jay-Z in 20 years.
no, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm saying. Is either it's true or it's not true type of thing. It's either she is right or she's not right. Ignore her.
Now we can get into it if we want to, but
Not really.
you don't want
'Cause
to get
it's-
sued either.
Yeah, because it does become like a Schrodinger's cat situation.
Right.
You know, and
That's
I mean,
what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. It's just one of those situations where she says some things, people will jump on it. It becomes online
I
fodder.
could say some things because I met them in the 2000s. I could make
Yeah.
up any kind of story I wanted to make up, but I told the truth about what
Right.
happened when I met them.
And I mean, let's brutally be honest here. That little gathering of that meet up with her and Orlando Brown when this
Oh
boy
my
said
God.
she wrote the Matrix and the Terminator, that killed it right there.
Wrong black
was-
lady.
Wrong black lady. Just stop. Like, I get it. We all want to have these moments. We want the Andy Warhol 15 minutes of fame. We want to be heard. We want to be seen.
Orlando Brown was right about one thing.
Uh-huh.
He was right about Jay-Z talking about not putting Wayne as the he's like
Oh yeah. That's it. I just love when he
that was
held the
funny as
note
shit.
when they were like, "Well, what did you think about you?" How did it find it? And I was like, "Yeah, it makes sense.
It
I
does make
get
sense
it
because we can understand what Kendrick Lamar is going to say.
exactly." And I got a strong feeling, not like us is getting played. I don't think they're censoring it. I do not think
But
I
they're
hope they
censoring it.
don't.
what I'm trying to say,
Let
what
the
I'm also
fire
trying to
burn.
say though is, if people want to run around and name all these celebrities all of a sudden out of the woodwork, you can. But if it comes out and it's not true,
Uh-huh.
you're fucked. Because then
Yeah,
the
you're
celebrity's going to
screwed.
come at you. But when they do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
Well, all
what's the
you
old
can
girl
do
name?
now is discredit Jaguar, which I
Right.
think if you're
Right.
a stand-up media organization, you're not going to have her on. You can be a YouTuber or a blogger and have her on still because you're like a low-level tier news person.
She would have
But
been
Right.
great
the
on the more
higher
COVID
tier,
show, maybe back in the day.
maybe
You know what I
on
mean?
Jerry Springer.
Right, Jerry Springer, but like
Maybe
they
even Oprah. Maybe Oprah could get through to her and talk
in the
about
very
her
beginning.
traumas instead of
But
talking about everybody else because she doesn't talk about her stuff. She talks
Mm-hmm.
about everybody
Everybody else.
else.
right, but that
You
was
know
the
what's
level
needed?
she was from back in the day. That's where she should have stayed, the Ricky Lake level. But no, they
Yeah.
Well,
brought her up to the Phil Donahue,
The
sphere.
Geraldo.
And that's on
you know what she
them
need? You know what
unless
she
they
needs?
planned that shit.
And I'll say it if this becomes a moment, because Jag was one of my favorite artists. I'll be brutally honest. I
She's
really
so
loved her music.
talented.
She
She
was
is
so damn good.
incredibly talented. It's so
But
sad.
right now, she needs a mammy titty hug from Iyanla Van Zandt.
She
She
really
needs
does
one
need, like, Iyanla needs to bring her show back just to focus on
just for this
Jaguar
one.
Wright.
Because
Because
Orlando Brown,
Tasha K had a four-part series called Surviving Jaguar Wright, where she had
yeah,
Jaguar's family members and friends come on the show to talk shit about Jaguar Wright because she's an ain't shit person in real life.
and it's sad because she is such a talent.
She's so
But
talented.
again, sometimes I know that old adage, a broke clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I say I take 1/6 or 1/5 of what she says as
Yeah.
truth.
But I will add on to that. It also shows when that clock could no longer tell you the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I hope the best for her. I mean, if
I don't wish any
things,
ill will towards her. I hope that she
yeah,
gets some help and she gets medicated if that's what's needed. I'm not saying she should just willy-nilly take drugs, but I think that she needs
yeah,
some deep counseling, some, some, like you said, some mammy titty love from Iyanla and something to
yeah, she's
heal
in
because
need.
she's so bitter. She's
And
so bitter.
I mean everybody. She's got venom for everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, she doesn't talk good about anybody in the
Yeah, it's
industry.
like, damn, what happened? Except
Everybody's
Orlando
a
Brown.
devil? Well,
It's I mean,
he's on the same level as her.
what did she say? He he understands. He loves it. He is giving me, and I'm like, I don't know what he giving you, but y'all, I mean, you know what it was? It was like a family gathering, and your two conspiracy cousins
Cousins. Yes. And I
got
have those
together.
cousins.
I got a few too. Just decided it was time to have a brouhaha and talk about Biden being a lizard person. Jay-Z and Beyonce
Do you
are,
know how happy I am that Dana Carvey is now playing Biden on SNL?
I haven't seen it.
He's so tiny, but he plays such a good Biden. Like, Joe Biden's a tall guy.
Right.
He's not, but he plays such a good Biden.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I really enjoyed the fact that Maya Rudolph came back as Kamala.
Yes.
That was so funny. I really loved it. And I think this kind of moves into our final little chit chat topic for this episode. And I call it living in the era of misinformation because my goodness, we are in the thick of it.
Mhm.
Um, we are in a very bad state when TikTok is now becoming a legitimate news source.
That's where I get my news.
And
TikTok and
folks,
Instagram.
yeah, I mean, gone are the days of Walter Cronkite, the Blessed Trinity, I used to call them, of Jennings, Brokaw, and Rather. Um, I like Lester Holt. You know, I like watching him from time to time. But we have got so much going on with the election. I'm still not understanding how Kamala Harris and Trump are now tied. Tied.
Scary.
And it's starting to I'm gonna give it to you, Britt. Um, it's starting to come to a point where I hope folks aren't getting lax like they did in 2016 when it was the whole, oh yeah, Hillary
Yeah.
got it. No
Yeah.
one's voting for Trump, and then all of a sudden,
I was one of those people. I was so laid back and relaxed. A memory came up that said, "I can't wait to wake up to Madam President" from 2016.
yeah, and it's gonna be work, you
And look
know. I
what we
mean,
woke up to.
exactly. Dumpster fire central. And
Mhm.
a lot of folks, I still can't believe y'all still can't tell me what he did that worked and benefited the country. Like, in all honesty, you still can't tell me a policy right now from him that he wants to bring in. Now we could yell Project 2025. We could yell Trump 47, which is on his website. None of that is feasible. I mean, it can happen if
Oh,
there's a red wave,
okay.
but
I urge everybody, and this is in this vein. I'm sorry to interrupt. And I urge you both to watch. Oh, I urge everybody, and this is YouTube especially, I urge you to watch on Prime. It's a documentary called God and Country. And it is Christian evangelicals, like high up, the Veggie Tales
uh-huh.
guy, stuff like that, talking about how terrified they are of the white nationalist Christian movement. And
Mm-hmm.
it is, we are not that far from a different
Gilead.
kind of world.
Yeah.
We really aren't.
And you
We just
see,
put
oh, I'm
too
sorry.
much. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say we put too much stock in the Constitution as this thing that everyone will always follow. You know what? If enough people decide not to follow it, it's a coup. It's a bloody
Right.
coup. But Hitler didn't take power. Power was given to him.
Right. Right.
So that's what I'm terrified of.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I'm terrified of it. I am terrified that that lax thing you're talking about right now, the assumption that, she's going to win, so we'll just lay back and we'll let it happen, is also how we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at the inverse, which is we're not watching her win. We are facilitating his possible continuous rule. So you're not doing just one thing when you don't stay involved and stay loud
Mm-hmm.
about it, which
Well, she
is
keeps asking for more money
Well,
because I
that
see that she's not making her goals, and that scares
right.
me. But I don't have
Yeah.
money to contribute.
right. No, but right, but I'm also, what was I going to say? Um, no, that's why I'd be like, please don't interrupt me. I'm too high for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. No, and the inverse of that is, okay, so Harris, right now, I believe she'll do great. So I don't have to do anything. I can just sit back and it'll be
Mhm.
fine because she's going to win. So no worries. But what you don't realize you're doing when you do that is you're also helping Trump to rise higher because your lackadaisical attitude helps to fuel the fires when they see that her donations are going down, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't deal with me, because I know Obama came out and he said black men don't have, basically, you better get your ass up and you better vote. And this was really recently. So we
Yeah,
need to
he did
keep
it
that,
last week.
right. You need to
He
get
did it
that,
last week.
continue that
Philly.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
Just get
And
that
in
fire
Pittsburgh.
going.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you see, this is where misinformation, disinformation becomes a huge problem. Because even with that, and also keep in mind, every election, no matter if it's local or federal or national, when it gets down to the wire, you're going to start to hear, okay, well, we're not making our goals. That's just to get everybody
Right.
riled up to say, all right, here you go. Boom, boom, boom. My biggest problem with how things are happening is we still continue to give that dude all the attention in the world. And he is playing it smart. This is where I have to give him this little bit of props. He's showing up in places you never thought he would go. He's
To
going on.
Coachella.
Right.
Okay,
He went to
why?
California, like northern.
He's going on bro podcasts. He's going on
He's a little bit scared though if he's doing all these things.
well, it's and I look at it like this. It's actually a good thing to do because now you got the bros behind you
Right.
and they're loud.
It's
Yeah.
Now,
incredibly
he hasn't been on Kai Cenat, I don't think, but he has
No.
been with Aiden Ross. He's been on oh man, I just saw it. He was on a podcast. Oh, he was on Flagrant Foul with Andrew Schultz and I can't remember his co-host. He was on there.
My son
Okay.
watches that.
Well,
How
again,
old do I sound?
well,
You did sound particularly. My
yeah,
son watches that.
he watches the flagrants of the files or something. I
watched it
don't
with him.
know.
What should I know about it?
I'll tell you
'Cause I
this:
love
flagrant
Andrew
foul.
Schultz, but now I
Well,
don't know.
Andrew Schultz is problematic.
I
take
said now
Andrew
I don't
Schultz.
know because of everything
Yes.
that happened.
I
And
like
because
him, but he's very problematic.
and
Well,
I
that's
used to
comedians for you. Period.
watch
Yeah.
the guys
Well, he was
the
talking bad about
guys.
black women, so
No, but
Because he was
right,
dating
the
a
two
black
British
woman and they
guys.
broke
Shits
up.
and gigs. Shits
Yes,
and gigs
I used to
are on
watch
there.
them too. My son watches them, so now I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
They
was it
didn't-
the two
they didn't-
British guys?
Yes, they didn't
Yeah.
Okay,
stand
yeah,
up for
they're the
black
ones who
women.
had problems. Yeah, they
Yes.
Right.
went down for the
And
count.
they lost their audience.
Yeah,
Big time.
and when we look at it, I think this misinformation is what's keeping him in the race. Because look at, okay, America just got hit by two major hurricanes and okay hurricane. And yes, I'm talking about Francine. Francine did some damage. And I believe they're gonna retire all three because I think the damage was worth over $1 billion. But with these last two, with Helene, and Milton, you start seeing a lot of misinformation. Trump is going out there and saying that the Biden administration, and more importantly, FEMA, is screwing over the citizens of North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, because South Carolina got hit, Florida, and that FEMA was only going to give $750, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get. That's all you can get. Now, because he's saying that, and he's at these rallies are being televised, and they're being shown on ONN and OANN, and I shouldn't even be giving them all this goddamn shine, but it is what it is. Your Fox News is your what is it, Right Side News Network or whatever, RSBN or whatever the crap that is, Newsmax. But then the majors are doing it. Your CNNs, your NBCs, your ABCs, everybody. So the misinformation is out there. The lie has already spread quicker than the truth is that FEMA had already said, we're giving you stipends that'll get you through. And when we come in to do the assessment, there is more money being given, right? Every Republican governor whose state was affected by Helene. Yeah, Helene.
Helene.
Duh. Helene. Helene is in my head. Why? Get out my head, woman. That got affected by Helene. They're like, yo, we got stuff before we even asked for it.
Mhm.
And then we get phone calls from the president himself saying, you have my number. Call me. You're going to get what you need. We have FEMA showing up here, and here. Goofball McGraw, better known as Donald Trump or Drumpf, decided to start saying that the Biden administration, especially President Biden, didn't even show up for the people. But the problem is that no president shows up right after a damn hurricane. None. Nada. The only reason what he's trying to do, and that's in my mind, brings back memories. You're trying to Katrina this. You're literally pulling a Katrina, and with your goofy ass showing up, which folks, I'm telling y'all better pay attention because you're getting clowned right now. That fool showing up in North Carolina or any of these places affected literally screws up any rescue attempts, any searches, any damage assessment, because all of the resources go to having him chauffeured around, protected, mind
Police
you, because
escorts.
police escort when police should be out.
Taxpayers' money.
Taxpayers' money being used to watch over him. He can't make any decisions. He can't make any kind of
He can't administer any aid.
He ain't gonna go out in his pocket to give y'all money to help you with your house. So y'all know good and damn well y'all not getting $1 from him. All of that was set up to show or to try to prove that the Biden administration is inept, incompetent, and all of that. Same stuff is happening in Israel and Gaza, and now it's into Lebanon, and now Iran is into it, and he's going on and shows saying that Kamala Harris is dumb. Joe Biden is stupid. None of this happened on my watch. Nothing. And I want to say this, and I'll give it to y'all. If him and JD Vance could walk around, because y'all notice how the Haitian thing is dying down.
Right.
So here's my thing. If they can go in and make up shit, as JD Vance said, if I gotta make up something for you to hear me, then I'll do it. Then JD Vance is a couch fucking piece of shit. And I don't need to have proof. I saw it on TV that he was raw dogging a lazy boy. And I'm gonna keep it at that. If we are in this space where we can just come up with a lie, then so be it. You're listening to me, right? So JD Vance, because I heard it on television, was in a threesome with an ottoman and a sectional. I mean, that's what I heard.
Who bought the eyeliner?
And that's another thing. What is he doing with y'all keep him away from the Sephora and Maybelline.
Eyeliner.
How he gonna talk about being a man's man and he walking around like a 1980s hairband? Mine is the hair.
He gives me, oh God, now I can't remember them. What is the emo group that they ended
My
up
Chemical
creating?
Romance?
Yes, he gives me My Chemical Romance emo,
He just
hair
needs to comb
over
his
the
hair
eyes.
forward. Yeah.
Right, like, yeah, that's what he gives me the vibes of. He's just, yeah.
Oh, I wish my
probably did
grass was as
poetry.
depressed as me so it'll cut itself.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Tonight's
dude,
the
he's
night that I will fall for you.
it's like, oh my goodness. Like seriously, if we're gonna live in this age, you have people who are literally scared to
But
go and file for disaster assistance. Again,
yes,
go to this disasterassistance.gov, y'all. Get y'all money.
but
Please.
this is what
Get the help
Trump
you need.
does. There is nothing beneath him. He gets a little scared for a moment and then his ego cannot handle it. So it gets thrown out. He asks someone to confirm that he's amazing at whatever because no one around him is telling him. There is no one telling the naked freaking emperor that there's no clothes and that
No.
he's naked. And this whole thing, nothing is beneath Trump. He will go and
Mhm.
he will say, because it's not about how he wins, it's about the fact that he better not lose.
Right.
Because
That's true.
as I used to say to my kids, if you are second place, what are you? And my kids would say, the first loser.
That
Hey,
is
Ricky
true.
Bobby.
Yeah. Wow. You're really teaching your kids the ways of life, Britt. A true American.
Sometimes I'm like, that's fine. Stay pressed. Don't be blessed.
Damn. Okay. Your kids are just they are a therapist's wet dream right now because you are just you're screwing them
Just
up.
know I love them. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
it's love, but when they gonna realize it's gonna be the end of you. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, we can only say so much. We can only say it's not true. We can only say
Doesn't matter.
um
It doesn't matter. None
fake
of those
news
things
and all of
any
that.
matter. I mean, any matter. Those things don't matter any longer. The days of that's my okay. When you brought up the TikTok being legitimate a news source, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous." Well, guess what? You can't tell me that our legitimate news sources aren't that far off from TikTok.
No, they all
They
have
are
TikToks.
right.
They all
They're
have TikTok.
sensationalized. They are
Right.
as sensationalized as any news you're going to get off of TikTok. And it's curated to specific audiences.
Yeah.
It is it's not the days of Cronkite. So there is no legitimate news source except
No.
for I
The
would say
stuff that I
AP,
have that I get on my
Reuters,
TikTok is curated for me.
right. But Reuters and AP because
Oh, you
that
mean
is where
Reuters?
Reuters, sorry.
Sorry,
But that
I'm
is
sorry.
where
That's just me. I worked in television news.
I know, and thank you for doing that. But those are the legitimate news sources that all the news comes out of pretty much.
Mhm.
Other than that, but
Then
most people don't
everybody
know
else
that.
puts their spin on it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But most people don't know that. They know what the algorithm feeds them. And so if they linger far too long on some alt-right shit, or you go to it and watch it for 10 seconds, you're going to start to get that shit. You're going to start going down that rabbit hole. You're going to
Then
start getting your fears confirmed. So Donald Trump is not above stoking those fears and those fires. He's not above putting pressure on governors. I don't know if it's Virginia, North Carolina, whatever, where they're purging rolls after rolls of voters, just purging them.
There
Just
was Georgia at one point, but now I think they're well, no, I could be wrong, but if once again, put it in the comments. I believe it was Georgia that was having the issues of purging voters with their new voting committee, with their new elections committee that they put together. So again,
I mean,
even the
I saw
Secretary of
something that
State is saying,
happened.
"Yo, y'all are screwing this up."
Right.
I've seen some, not about voter registration, but about the
Mhm.
hurricanes. I've seen some Trump supporters in line to go to his rallies being
Uh-huh.
interviewed by The Daily Show. And they think that the Democrats control the weather,
Oh my goodness,
Of
a
yeah.
course
la
they
Marjorie
do.
Taylor Greene.
Taylor Green.
Of course they
So
do. Why would they not?
she's putting that misinformation out there, and
Yeah.
people who you think would be smarter than that, but they're not.
Nope.
They think it's true.
It's the cult.
No.
It's the cult of
It
personality.
used to be the
Thank
Jews
you.
were controlling the weather. Now it's Democrats.
Oh no, the Jews still control the weather.
Oh, they do? The
They're
Jewish
Democrats,
Democrats?
though.
Hebrew
Oh, yeah.
Force One went up in the air yesterday.
Hebrew Force One.
And I do believe when it gets to the space yarmulke, they're gonna see the clouds. Now again, this is what I'm hearing, and you know, what do they see in the clouds with matzo balls? I have no clue. Again, this is the
to
problem.
what end? If the
To
Jews
what
were
end?
controlling anything, they would fix a war in the Middle East.
No, if the Jews controlled the weather, wouldn't you think Florida would be nice and dry and not humid?
Right. Yeah, because that's where they retire.
That's where they go. So it's so much, and what's so funny
The
is that
hate,
they say it with the straightest of faces. I don't
Right.
think they
because the
laugh
hate,
when they send this.
No, they're
when the
dead
hate,
ass.
so each speaking event, each different crowd needs to have a specific amount of hate, a curated level of hate. Maybe you have to dial it back. Maybe you have to stoke it just a little bit. And these people are masters at tapping into their audience's fears and hate and reflecting back that it's them, not you. And some can take it dumbed down. Some need it on another level. That's why all these white supremacists that we see outside and, the Proud Boys and all of that shit and all that, that is just the top layer, because there are those who are everywhere. And I know that sounds conspiracy theorist, but you can't say that there's not white supremacists in any level of anything. You can't. So we just need to pay, I don't know. It's not about paying attention to those things. It's just that when you curate that hate for your audiences, you tap into it and you create an amount of loyalty, because now you've taken their ego and you've also siphoned that into this cult. So
It is a
hard
cult
for them.
because you
Right.
could say to me all day, the Jews are controlling the weather, and I wouldn't believe you.
True. But if you tell it to one of them, it's like,
They're like, we knew it. They had to have been doing something this whole time.
Yeah,
Right,
you
but
know, when they
their
made the Ark of
ego,
the Covenant, God gave
it's
them
that
the
part that
powers to
comes.
do it.
It's if I admit to myself that that is not the truth, then what does that say about me? Who am
Yeah.
I then if I was that stupid? So no, it's just an automatic. You don't even think deeply about it. It's just automatic no,
Right.
because
Yeah,
I know he's the best. We all here think he's the best.
and that's the sad part. I almost bopped my head on my mic. But I don't know. I continue to try to be optimistic and say, you know what? I'm gonna continue to write my little community notes on on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. It's oh yeah. Let's seriously go there, because this will be the last thing. Elon Musk
Oh God.
or Emperor Palpatine, however you want to look at the meme. This dude, oh my goodness, man, that cat he has no ups. He has none.
Okay, so when your kid or your nephew, your whatever, your niece is like around about 4 or 5, and they're really excited for something, and you turn to them and you look down and you go, "You're gonna get such and such and such and such, yay!" And it's that jumping up they do. That's what he looked like. Elon Musk looked like his mommy told him he could get a lollipop.
No, Elon Musk looked like exactly what probably the animal he was created from, a muskrat. Cause that dude, oh
Are
man,
they? I have to look them up now.
yeah, and I could be wrong, but I don't understand. He's talking about he wants freedom of speech, but when people speak on Twitter now that he
Brit,
doesn't like,
they're
he
not
takes it
cute.
off. Muskrats are not cute.
They're not cute.
They're so
They look like
cute.
ugly beavers.
Those are so cute. I mean, I also wish
There
I
was the
could.
song Muskrat Love.
Yes.
Right.
So
But
You
I'm
know.
someone who would love to adopt, domesticated rats.
Okay,
No.
you
You
no.
lost me.
Again,
If you want a rat, just go to New York City and stand outside for 2
Oh, no, no,
minutes
no, no,
with
no,
a
no, no,
slice of
no.
pizza.
Those are
with a
terrifying.
slice
I
of
said
pizza.
domesticated.
They're
Domesticated rats are
domesticated,
actually very smart.
I know.
you know. But Elon
I want
Musk
to
is
know
not.
Ratatouille.
Well, no, let
Yeah,
me stop that.
Ratatouille.
He's kind of smart. I mean, he knows how to ride on an
He
idea.
knows how to make things.
And then not even at
Did you
that.
see
His Cybertrucks are trash.
those creepy robots that he made?
Yes,
That is freaking creepy
that
as
look
hell.
like if you just tap them, they're either gonna fall over or decide to take over the world. We just don't
Yes.
know.
Yes.
I think we're gonna be living in iRobot in the next 5 years
Yep.
because of this nutcase. But again, he owns
I just
a.
want to say, black people, up until the end, we will be just churning out some amazing memes.
Yep. I mean, he
Black
owns a
Twitter's
media
gonna be on
platform.
fire to the end.
He owns a social platform.
Mhm.
But he talks a good game about free speech, and we have now he wants to save the Constitution when a couple of
Oh,
years back he was like tear it up.
wait, I thought he didn't care about
He's
free
not
speech.
even. Is he a citizen?
No,
We gave him citizenship.
I
no.
I think they did. Yeah, I think he is a
Ugh.
citizen.
Yeah,
think
that
he is.
honorary
Back when he came
And
out.
citizenship.
if not,
Oh,
why have we
He's
not
part of
shipped
the
his ass?
problem.
Why have we not shipped his apartheid loving ass back home
Exactly.
to Denmark and hang out with the Dutch, wherever the Dutch be hanging out? Sorry y'all if you I threw the Dutch. Yeah, it is Denmark, isn't it? I don't
he's
care.
from South Africa.
South Africa.
It's you. Yeah, but his ancestry is Dutch.
Oh, yeah, they did
Yes,
colonize.
they did come and take. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was
And
the big thing.
hit it.
Yeah,
Yes.
apartheid and all of that.
That was part of the party. But
Yep.
anyway, all I could say
Yeah.
is please folks, fact check. JD Vance should have gave y'all a nice red flag when he went off on the debate and said, "Wait, the rules were you weren't supposed to fact check."
I'm going to say this about fact checking though.
Go to Snopes.
There you go. There you have to be very specific in
PolitiFact.
where you go, because your algorithm will find you what is you're already geared towards, publications that support your view. So you need to go to specific things like Snopes.com. I love Snopes since it
Since
started.
it came out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, go to those that only say look, and they're honest. Sometimes they're like, we can't verify, or we just undetermined. We couldn't find anything to support, or so
Right.
do your due diligence, not
Mhm.
just fact check so you can get the answer you want. Due diligence. And due diligence means sometimes you're going to have to just let go of that opinion of yours, because if you are immobile in your opinions, you will eventually fall for anything. And right now,
Facts.
if you are still believing that Trump is Lord and Savior and he is chosen by God, and that is very much a belief out there, that he is here to usher in, Jesus's, coming, all of that.
What if he
Please.
is? Wouldn't that be a plot twist?
Ugh.
I'm like this. Question your gods. That's
Right?
all I could say. Question them quick. Y'all sure about this? Are you really sure about this? You positive? All right. I mean,
But if you're not willing to let go of that, if you're willing to go, no, I'm just going to keep looking straight forward, there is nothing you will not fall for, because you're already falling for the biggest con. And the biggest con is your
grift.
own
yeah.
ego. Your own ego will keep you in the sunken
racism.
place. They will keep you in your racism. They will keep you, one step below what you won't call your master anymore, but you sure will die for that white guy who gave you the opportunity, but he will not die for you. You will give a slave's amount of loyalty. But here's the thing, you don't have to. You chose to. Everybody back then did what they needed to do to survive. You don't have to align yourself with someone who would not give you what you would give them. But if you can't say that, your opinion means nothing. Go vote for whoever you want to vote for.
Message ho.
Well, on that note, we're gonna put a pin on it because that was a good way to end it all. Thank you, Britt. But before we go, it is one of my favorite parts of the show slash pod slash episode. It is time for the question of the
No,
pod.
it's
No?
not.
Why not?
It's time for the Her-Tep corner.
Yes.
Oh, we don't she done Her-Tep herself with all of this.
No.
She
I
has
didn't
more to
know
say.
that.
Oh dear God, ladies and
It'll be
gentlemen.
quick.
It is time to cue up the power of the ancestors. The power. No, I can't do that. That's Jay. That's Mr. J Rock. Shout out to Jay giving us those great rap breakdowns. So to the ancestors, please give us your wisdom and power to the African American princess because it is time for her Her-Tep corner. Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, Mike. All right, Britt, you can
All
have
right.
it.
I can tell you how concrete has been supported and created by a racist system.
Concrete?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Not even
this is a
concrete.
I
nigga.
gotta pee.
Sidewalk. Hold
This
on.
is a nigga.
Sidewalk.
This is a
I'll be
nigga-spiracy.
No.
If I gotta
No,
listen to it,
for
you
it.
better stay. Nope,
I'm gonna pee.
I
you ain't gotta
will
pee.
wrap it up fast.
Fine.
Sidewalks. Sidewalks are utilized to support racism, and I say this because in a lot of on the East Coast, most of the construction companies are made. They are going to get the bids every single time, no matter what. You do
Right.
not see
Oh my
a lot
God,
of
Rhea, go to the
companies-
bathroom.
Okay. All right.
Go
I'll
to
be
the
right
bathroom. We're good. This continues to record. Continue, Britt. You're teaching the
Okay.
people. Go. Sidewalks, racism, white supremacy. Go.
Once again, sidewalks are created by white supremacy, and they are utilized to uphold a classist system. And I say this because, like on the East Coast, construction companies are predominantly and dominantly white. They are money back into the white community, whatever it may be, but they utilize laborers under the table of color, throwaway human beings, right? Okay. How many construction companies of color do you see? It's the same thing as garbage companies of color. These are monopolies. So when you look at construction and you look at construction on a level of the mayor has conditioned, we have to clean up these sidewalks and take care of them. How sidewalks are uphold racism? When you look at city governments, most upper level management jobs are held by white men. The lower down you go, the darker the skin, the longer the names. When you get to the laborers are traditionally people of color. They make a decent amount, but they don't make their true value amount. And these are to uphold a white classist system. Okay. Now, if it is to a new development, that construction company, everybody puts a bid in. These small minority-owned construction companies will try their best to compete, but they know they can't. So unless it's written in the charter, these many, out of 32 projects this year, are any construction on these lands, whatever. And I know, anyway, unless it's addressed specifically, the white construction company will always win. And I don't know if you. So sidewalks are inherently racist because the creation of them upholds a white supremacist agenda, which is to keep whites at the top. So whether it's in the government or in construction companies or it's in who cleans up your sidewalks, 99% of the time, it's going to be a white company. It's going utilizing the labor of people of color. It's going to be a predominantly white city government structure that utilizes the labors of people of color, the janitors, the street sweepers, the people who take care of the sidewalks that were created for the white companies and by the white companies for the white people. Done.
Wow. I
Interesting.
feel very interesting, and I feel like that little Latina soap opera lady whose face is just confused and the mathematic equations are flying everywhere because you're trying to figure out where in the hell was it going, but you got us there, Britt, and we appreciate you for it. So every episode we will have a Her-Tep corner.
But you guys can write in questions to me about what I think.
Sure,
Or
we
yeah, I'm
will.
just saying.
We'll definitely make it happen.
I want to
Sounds
hear,
good.
Joseph, what you got to say.
Oh, you calling people out now. Okay, well, hopefully, Joseph, you heard. He's one of our many of the 5 listeners. Hopefully he responds. But now it is time for my favorite segment,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Question of the Pod, being given so lovingly as always by that beautiful rare sunshine, Miss Araya Anderson. What you got?
Okay, this week's question of the pod, as always, will have an A through D. So wait till I call on you after I finish reading.
There's the law coming to get Brit.
That was my ratchet ass neighborhood. Okay.
well.
The question of the pod this week is, what's old school slang for sex that only people over 40 say? A, getting in them drawers. B, knocking boots.
Okay.
C, getting some cutty. D, freaking.
Let's start with Brit.
Okay, Britt, what say you? You're over
You don't
40.
have to go
You're
down
well
the-
over 40.
Okay, you
You're
don't
a
have to go down the
decade
list
over.
again. Can you just repeat the question?
What's old school slang for sex that only people over 40 say?
Okay, knocking boots.
Yeah, there was a whole song dedicated to it.
Big time. Big
You,
time.
Anthony, you say the same thing?
But remember, there was Freak Me Baby, and they do
Yeah.
say freaking, and
I want to freak you, baby. I want to freak you, lady, in every freaking way, every freaking night, and every freaking day.
wanna freak your body's so freaking tight. I'm like, oh, okay, buddy,
Yeah.
we get it. You like the word freak. I gotta go with Brit. Knocking boots. Because there were 2 songs that was called Knocking Boots.
2?
There was H-Town, which everybody remembers.
That's the one
Somebody
I know.
rocking, knocking their boots. And then there was a rapper, I think, Candyman? Yeah, Candyman had a song called Knocking Boots, because we'll still end up knocking the boots.
Boy, I love you so.
You so
never
ever want to get you go.
Once I get my hands on you.
Exactly. So I would say knocking boots would take over getting some cutty.
Yes. Knocking the
Freaking.
boots.
What was the other one? Getting cutty, freaking, and what?
Getting in them drawers.
Getting them draws. Now, got the draws would have worked.
Yeah.
Because you feel like it's a Martin episode.
More like my dad's
GTD.
generation.
I would say to my sisters, I got them drawers.
Yeah.
But getting in.
Getting in them draws.
Getting in them drawers. That's
maybe
a little bit old fashioned.
Yeah.
Right.
Knocking boots is our generation. Through and through.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to download that Candyman song now.
Yeah, that was the joint. That was the joint. I used to play that all the time.
It was a one-hit wonder.
When you go on YouTube.
He was with NWA.
Was he?
He was a part of NWA. Yeah.
I didn't know
Back
that.
in 86 to 80, right before um they went on to drop Straight Outta Compton. If you go back and look at the cover for NWA and the Posse, Candyman is in there. Him, Arabian Prince, Laylaw, a whole bunch of cats.
And
Go
that
to
information
YouTube.
was brought to you by
This useless,
Encyclopedia Sterling.
yes, for all your worthless
But
and useless trivial needs, come to me. I will have it for you.
go to YouTube and put in Candyman, then put in what is it, Joy and Pain, then put in Orange Juice Jones. It will create this and you'll start to get all these songs that you forgot about. It's just
Oh yeah, I have YouTube Music, so
Yeah.
I can do that on YouTube Music.
And
it'll
also
create a
keep in
playlist
mind,
for me.
but the reason why I'm saying YouTube is because it's also the videos we grew up on.
Yeah.
oh yes, high top fades and ballet shoes and
And
silk
models that
presses.
had
Haircut.
real bodies.
Right?
Well,
Remember this haircut?
Most of
some.
them.
Here to here. And
Yes,
then,
the asymmetrical.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. And then a
The
little
salt
bit in
and
the
pepper.
back.
The
Yep,
salt and pepper,
yep.
the mushroom, the
Mhm.
bob,
Mm-hmm.
the weave. Yes, it's not just fighting terms, people. It's black women's hair. You do the wop, the smurf, the baseball bat. You did the troop, the running man, the RoboCop, the cabbage patch. Everyone could do the Pee Wee Herman because Joski Love taught us how to do it. My God, we're
Yeah.
old.
We are old.
We're old. We have to do a memory lane episode because
We
we're
should.
old. And I think we'll make that
We should
happen.
do episode 170 should be like a 70s, 80s like rewind or something like that.
For
Or
all
episode 180.
the Gen X babies.
Yeah.
The Gen X babies episode because it has to happen. We're a dying breed. We're coming to we're slowly seeing.
Did you know I just read an article yesterday or day before yesterday that Gen X is the most stressed out generation and
Yeah,
Yes.
so we got to do
least
something nice for us.
the least to show it outwardly or to take it out on anybody. They internalize it more.
Because we were raised on drinking out of a hose
Right.
and neglect.
Mhm.
And
We
take care
understood
of
the
yourself.
assignment.
We're latchkey kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
We're the generation of both parents working.
Mhm.
but the inverse of that is a lot of these parents turned around and created these kids who are incapable of doing a lot of things.
Yeah, my kids.
Well,
Because
helicopter
we
parents.
don't
Yeah, I'm a
right. Well,
helicopter
not even
parent.
just no. Their kids
They're
don't
not ready for the world.
right. There are
Yeah.
teachers who are like, I got 7-year-olds who still struggle at tying their shoes because nobody at home. I'll show them here. They'll get it. No one at home will reinforce it because they'll just do it for him. Type of stuff where it's just like we created the participation awards for
Yeah.
our kids,
Hmm.
but
For
then
our
people
kids.
right, and then we complain that these kids came from participation awards. We did
Yeah.
it because we needed to push back from all the neglect and
Right.
Yeah.
just
But why? But why worry about tying your shoes when there's this ingenious invention called fucking Velcro?
Yeah.
right.
Slip-ons. Skechers make slip. Oh, not advertising for you, Skechers. You ain't paid the bill.
Right. But
There are shoes you just slip on. You go about your life.
no. But there are basic things that if the end comes or when or whatever may go, or there's a natural disaster, how equipped is your mini adult? Because a lot of them are mini or baby adults right now. How equipped are they to be able to take care of themselves and those around them?
They're
What
not.
basic things have you taught them? Do they know how to sew? Do they know, like, literally?
My kid does.
But a lot of these kids don't know how to do anything. They don't know how
So
to
you
utilize
just
a
look at that child
landline.
and say, hey, when the meteor strikes, you're done.
Oh, I pray for the meteor. Please,
Oh.
come. I pray
right.
for it.
We got to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone dire. It's not good. But folks, we want to thank y'all so much for listening. As always, this is the first episode that you will see our lovely faces. We hope you enjoy it. Please, underneath the video you see, there is a line that says add comments. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think about us on YouTube.
The
We
good, the
want to
bad, the
hear
ugly.
everything. We're okay. We'll leave it
We're
because,
new to this space, so we want to make sure we're doing it right.
and if you get ugly with us, we already know that you were ugly. That's why your mama never loved you. So
We got to
we
take constructive criticism, Anthony.
no. We can take constructive criticism, but that comes with when you say, "Oh, you guys suck." But here's why.
Yeah,
And if
let us
you,
know why we suck.
yeah, because we can always say your mom sucks, but and we will tell you why. And this is why you never had good ramen noodles in your house because she was horrible at it.
Oh, I gotta send.
So,
I send it to you, Britt. But I have some good noodles that I just found out about.
well, send them to me because
I'll send them to this chat.
I'm on a budget.
Yeah,
Um,
these are
I'm on
budget
a poor
friendly.
man's budget. Yes, but
Anthony,
anyway,
I
I'm
need
just
to
teasing.
talk
We
to
do need.
you.
Well, we're wrapping up. Let's wrap, and then we'll have the chat. But we do want to thank everybody for tuning in, downloading it on your phones or watching it on YouTube, listening to it on your the app,
Yes,
wherever you're listening to podcasts,
our
Apple
OG
Pod, Spotify.
listeners, try us on
Yes,
YouTube now.
yes, y'all been asking. We giving you what you asked for. Ask for
Our
when the
beautiful
episodes.
faces.
There you go. Well, those two beautiful faces. But when is this gonna drop on video? Whenever I put it together, but it'll definitely audio is still gonna drop on Wednesday. I may move it if I can find a quicker way because again, since I is unemployed, I gotta go the free route. So I'm gonna find ways to put the show together. But the audio will always, hopefully, I say that, drop on Wednesday. It may drop even earlier. And if it does, hey, that's even better, right?
Mhm.
You get more time with us. So, with that being said, big thank you. Appreciate y'all. Continue to ride with us because we will continue to talk our shit no matter what. And everything is how we feel. If you feel offended, if you agree, yay. And that's it. And that's all. So, for that beautiful ray of sunshine, Miss Araya Anderson. For the high priestess of beige rage, the slightly annoyed mixed chick, Miss Britt Williams, Miss Her-Tep herself. I am Mina Papa. That was Jamaican. That wasn't Africa.
See.
What are you, girl? Stop.
Oh no, no,
Okay.
no, no,
I am
no.
Anthony Sterling, aka Eddie.
Gasa.
No.
Oh,
Oh. I hope you and Robin Thede meet up in real life because she
Oh,
will be like, what have I created?
my heart
Anyway,
hurts so hard.
if this gets to Robin Thede, Miss Britt Williams, she's in California. Connect with her. But anyway, I am Anthony Sterling, aka your friendly neighborhood super Negro, aka Mr. Paranoid and Unemployed for the time being. Bidding you all adieu. Hopefully, we see you next time. And if you out in them streets, please be good. But if you can't be good, be careful. Bye.